Welcome to another episode of Power Talks. When we talk about digital transformation, AI, automation, and efficiency are a few things that come to our mind. But when it comes to travel and food, the two industries that are deeply personal, it is perhaps more about experience, it is about trust, it is about emotion. And this is exactly what we're going to unravel today in this episode, balancing between the human touch and also blending technology. Joining me for this episode are Arun Narayanaswamy, Senior Director of Engineering and Site Head at Amadeus Pune. Arun, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We're also joined in by Dr. Durga Prakash, Head of Technology GT Global Offices at McDonald's. So thank you so much for joining us as well.
Thank you. Thank you for giving this
All
opportunity.
right. In this episode, we're going to talk about the balance which is needed when we talk about the digital transformation without losing the human touch, which is perhaps the foundation for any organization, right? So let me start with you, Arun. When it comes to the travel industry, everything is digitally possible now. Customers sort of book their own tickets, from boarding passes to everything. Everything is digitally sponsored, if I say so. But when it comes to travel is something which is deeply personal, deeply emotional for a customer, right? It comes with a lot of anxieties, a lot of happiness, a lot of emotions, apparently. So how do you sort of balance that human touch with also the digital transformation, with the technology integration?
Sure. I think the way we do it is, first of all, split it into three components, right? So pre-travel, travel, and post-travel, right? So that's a very large classification as such. And pre-travel is all about generating that excitement, making sure the travel is smooth, making sure you have like hyper personalization, right? So for a customer, that's about creating memories, right? So that's the first part, and there's a lot which goes in terms of personalization, making sure uh, every detail is captured so that you could personalize activities, etc., right? And during travel is obviously making sure if there are disruptions, make sure that there are adjustments done, understanding the customer. So end of the day, it's about making sure the customer is happy, the journey is smooth. And the last bit is simpler, is post travel. Anything that's to do with billing, I mean, for business travelers, if it's billing, ensuring you have the claims, making sure you have all the data ready, etc., or generating inspiring ideas for the next travel, etc. I think that's a combination of tech which is embedded in the system that we have been developing, obviously progressing towards building solutions which has that personalization embedded into the systems.
All right, thank you so much for that answer. We're going to touch on the personalization aspect of it, because it's huge now.
Correct.
When we talk about digital transformation, it is sort of important for us to talk about the personalization angle as well, because we all live in the hyper personalized world, right? But before that, I would like to come to you, Dr. Durga. The same question. When it comes to the food industry, it is also very emotional, right? At the end of the day, humans do have a lot of travel and food stories to tell to their friends, to their families. And when it comes to McDonald's or any of the food company in the industry, a lot has been digitized, right? There are loyalty points, there are apps. Customers can book through, those apps. You can scan and get your booking done even while you are in the restaurant, right? But while all this is happening, how are you sort of blending human touch? That that you are not losing empathy when you are sort of interacting with your customers.
No, great question. Thanks for asking the right question. I mean, we at McDonald's, we always believe customer comes first. And if you look at the way we are building technology in McDonald's, is about, it's not just for the sake of building the tech. For example, we are implementing an edge cloud. While all the enterprises are going to the cloud, we are actually bringing the cloud to the restaurants. About 400 restaurants in the United States, we modernized with the edge on the cloud in partnership with Google. And what does it mean to us if you ask us? If you look at a customer when he's at home, when he's ordering, um, by the time he reaches the nearest restaurant, using our latest geofencing, we know he's coming and the food will get started. And by the time he's entering, his food is ready. We call it as ready on arrival. So the human touch is more about reducing his waiting period, his frustration period, ensuring technology helps him to come and eat right food at the right time without actually waiting for more, right? So that's what we are doing right now. So we are bringing the latest and greatest technology to ensure the waiting
Reduce
periods are reduced, reduce the friction. While another interesting thing, if you look at it, we call it as loyalty for our fans. As they come and buy with us, we are giving digital loyalty points where they can redeem not just buying more food, they can even buy some lifestyle events like buying Snapchat Plus for their kids, or maybe they can buy any professional subscriptions using those redemption points. So the point here is we are giving a digital lifestyle events, make sure that they celebrate because they had a good moments, right? We say McDonald's is not just in the business of burgers, but creating that celebrating moments for our customers. That's what we do. And the more and more human, but make the life better with technology, not just for our customers, even for our crew members.
Yeah. No, absolutely. McDonald's apparently has been doing this for years now. But when it comes to digital transformation, the frontline workers are the main face of that digital transformation because they get to use that apps or that technology firsthand, right? So how do you ensure that those employees sort of get adapted to that new technology and also without losing that empathy? But because at the end of the day, a customer experience is defined by the empathy that it gets from the restaurant, from the business, from the organization. So how do you do that?
Excellent. In fact, this is a great question. When we were putting together our whole strategy, we call it as digitizing the arches. The primary point is we are so big. We are in 120 countries, 40,000 restaurants. Every day we serve about 80 million consumers almost, which is 1% of the global population. And with that kind of scale and size, necessarily the scale and size does not give us a value unless you connect and digitize them, right? So first thing we said is how do we make the life of our own team crew members better so that they will make our consumer life better. If you go to McDonald's kitchen, there are 200 connected equipments working each other, and we derived something known as connected predictive kitchens. That means our staff really knows which one is going to fail before it fails, so that they have a team to support them, so that they have a very good equipment to do the right thing, so that the consumers are happy, there is no friction, right? For example, typical restaurant in McDonald's, inside the kitchen there are 200 connected equipments running, and everything is tracked, and there are algorithms running to make their life better, so that they are making our consumers life better and easier in terms of serving the experience moments.
All right, Arun, does it happen for you in the travel industry as well? Because, at the end of the day, in airlines and travel, the frontline staff at the end of the day is responsible for the customer when they are in that moment of frustration, when the flight is late, when there are long queues. At the end of the day, they are responsible, right? So what kind of technology are you supporting them with so that, they can respond with empathy to their customers?
Right. Brilliant question. I think something which both travel and food sort of share. It's important, though you say about disruption, I would also look at from a point of view how the customer experience is, right? So for the frontline workers, it's simple. People call for rebooking, people call for changing their schedule, be it hotels, be it airlines, right? So one of the most important bit is all the data that we have about a customer is readily available for the frontline worker, so that I wouldn't say upsell or cross sell, but it's also about providing alternates which make the customer's journey easier, right? So it's for example, take a very good example which you mentioned is about disruption, right? So a flight gets cancelled, the airline shouldn't independently say, okay, I'm rebooking your flight. But typically as a product service provider for that, the hotels need to be changed, the taxi service needs to change, right? So can that be made seamless? How are they connected with each other? So when one thing changes, others could change as well, right? And based on loyalty points, I'll give a great example. If the person is checking in late to the hotel, maybe can we deliver the food to the room, for example, or change the taxi timing so that or maybe upgrade the taxi so that the person is more comfortable. I think it's about making that journey easier for the customer by providing those human touch points who are in between, empowering them to say, okay, can they do something more for the customer, which makes that memorable for them, and not really look, okay, I got disrupted, and remember that. I mean, especially if it's leisure, you don't want somebody to remember a disruption. You want to remember or hold on to those memories because it could get erased very soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that wonderful point. And when you were talking about this, it also makes me talk about personalization that perhaps you brought in the first answer, right? At this age in time, we all want the hyper personalized experiences, the offers that we can actually relate to. But at the end of the day, sometimes these personalized steps can also become intrusive. Right. So how do you create that balance that you are offering the personalization with care to your customers and not becoming intrusive at the end of the day?
Great question. I think the way I would put it is maybe taking a step back. The way I would put, we are a B2B solution provider. But if we continue to think that way, the end customer is ignored, right? So I think we would probably expand that scope to say we are a B2B2C customer, helping our customers deliver great solutions to eventual customers, right? So it's the question about not being intrusive. It's about identifying what's the right balance, right? So are we really helping them? And as I mentioned, are we really helping them, or are we trying to cross sell, right? So it should be, there's a fine balance in that, because we need to take care of the customer first. And if that's taken care, I think there is opportunities for business is beyond that, right? So I think that's the way I would put it.
Absolutely. And this is where, Dr. Durga, I would like for you to come in as well. From where you sit, we are talking about personalization. Of course, the food industry has a lot to offer when it comes to personalization. But how do you sort of, keep that personalization meaningful while also respecting your customers' trust?
Oh, this is an excellent question. In fact, if you look at McDonald's is a 70-year-old iconic brand, and we are very, very associated with perfection. If you look at the French fries that we serve, we wanted to see the exact similar taste anywhere in the world, right? So for us, personalization is all about getting that balanced act of perfection to measuring to what customer really wants according to their own countries, right? So keeping that globally stable talents while nurturing the locally preferred talents. That's what we call it as truly personalization. It's about how you can help the local tastes nurture within the context of globalization. For us, it is all about a balanced act without violating any of the personally identifiable information, getting into their privacy, but still manage that locally relevant tastes and globally relevant standards, right? That's what we call it as personalization. It is actually beyond hyper personalization. It is about a true act of balancing that what we do at McDonald's.
No, absolutely. And Arun, please come into this conversation. When we talk about the digital systems, the personalization, the environment that we are in currently today, digital systems are tend to fail, right? An app can falter. Like we were talking about the flights, right? There can be a wrong booking. Anything can happen with digital transformation. So how do you sort of keep that human layer ready as a backup, that when my digital transformation or when my digital systems are going to fail, this is the human layer. This is the team which is perhaps ready for the backup with all the answers.
True. I think this is reflecting back on the B2B2C kind of a thought process, right? So human in the loop is the most important aspect, right? So can the human in the loop override systems? I mean, let's say a baggage kiosk has failed. Can somebody come in and say, I will help through the process? And how do you even enable that person to make the journey smooth? Otherwise, the customer is left stranded at a digital touch point, nowhere to go. Same could be with chatbots, right? The technology is there where you're helping basic questions to be solved by an agent potentially. And when things fail, or when you realize that there is maybe things like sentiment analysis, you're starting to feel the customer is getting agitated, can the human come in place, understand the scenario and solve the problem, right? Again, going back, end of the day, it's totally about customer experience and the person coming in, enabling the tech touch points, right? Breakdown management, human in the loop, you call it by whatever terms, overriding a technical system by bringing in a human in place.
All right. And Dr. Durga, please come into this conversation. Even you were talking about how the McDonald's restaurants, the systems are entirely digitized, right? What if the tech falters? What if there's a delay in order because of the tech faltering? So how do you sort of create that balance that even your tech faltered, but your customers are walking away with some positive, memories?
Oh, excellent. This is a great question. In fact, one of the core values of McDonald's is McFamily. The employee comes, within the family, right? So every channel that we build, whether it is a drive-through data or digital or your digital menu or a mobile applications, there is always a human in the loop as one of the channel for the preferred, because there is no substitute than a human interaction in delivering your food like an emotion, right? So every system that we design, our human-centered design, human in the loop are fundamental values we take. And you can ask me, one of the leadership question that we ask within the McDonald's is, it's not about what AI can do for me. The question is about how can I do better with AI? I think that's the dichotomy that we actually go through. But every time we do every design, we think human in the loop is obvious that what we design in the systems.
All right, gentlemen, let's flip the script a bit as we are moving towards the end of our discussion. What if you are a traveler as well? You go to restaurants as well. Same with you, right? You are a traveler, you go to restaurants. So what is that one thing, that one blind spot as a foodie, as a person who goes to restaurant that you want the food industry to fix? And for you, what's that one blind spot in the travel industry that you would want to get fixed? I mean, where is that angle in the digitized world where you want the human to come in? Like, this is the spot where I don't want to interact with machines. This is where I need humans. For you, what is in the food industry, and for you, what is in the travel industry? Let's start with you.
Maybe it'll become the same eventually, but I think the bit Dr. Durga was mentioning is a lot of digital touch points now. I mean, McDonald's has literally digitized every single aspect of it. It's brilliant, especially for people who don't want to interact with people, right? But even for people who are less tech savvy, I think it's intuitive enough. But I would say for emerging markets, I mean, the only thing that I would look at is for emerging markets, people who are, like countries like India, the number of languages are so many. Maybe understanding English or Hindi may not be the only solution. So I think customization, even beyond where there is access, correct, maybe more closer to the people in that region, right? I think at a country level it's solved across countries, but within a country there are ways in which people operate. So maybe that's the only thing that I would probably say. I'm sure Dr. Durga would be already focusing on it, or they have implemented, but as a customer, maybe that's something that I could think of.
Yeah. Dr. Durga, any comments, and what about you when it comes from the travel industry perspective?
I think like Arun said, travel has always been a leader in implementing technologies. I think if I see there is only one blind spot is if there is any uncertainty or if there is any bad news or when you are expecting unexpected, I think that is a scenario where you expect human conversations, either getting delayed or getting cancelled or postponed, etc. Those kind of bad news, we generally want to interact with the person, understand why, what, when, how. I think that's the only area where we see a live agent or a live person helping us. But otherwise, travel has always been a leader in implementing technologies.
All right, great, gentlemen. We are walking away with a few takeaways across industries. And this is a collaboration that we wanted to happen in our studios. Well, thank you so much for sharing your views. And as far as I know, as a foodie and as a traveler, both of these industries are deeply personal and emotional to me as well. And I think this is the right conversation where we talk about balancing that human touch with the digitization, so that we do not stay behind as a country, but also we don't lose empathy at the end of our day, right? Thank you so much for being a part of this call.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, and to our viewers, stay tuned for many more such exciting conversations only at Power Talks.